But welcome everybody to the World of Ability, which is our flagship show here on the World of Ability Podcast Network. We do here every Saturday at 1 o'clock Central, and showcasing everybody's abilities and what they do, and so on. But I have a couple of great guests today, or so far, anyway. And so bring our first guest, Sirena. I hope I'm not butchering your name there. Who is the founder of uh, Serena's I can't talk. I can speak today. Consultation services. Where she was helping grow companies more move beyond just making money and understanding it. So that's good. So Serena, how about you say a little bit about uh, who you are, Serena's consultation services? Who's Serena?
So I will go personal as well as business wise. So I'm a single mom of 4 beautiful kids. We're actually going to go to the beach this afternoon.
Oh, fun.
And what actually got me into what I do is in 2016. It was during the big oil field crash, and I started off my firm with just basic tax services, as I noticed there was such a struggle and such need. Again, everyone was going based off of what your income was the year prior. Whether you qualified for free tax services or not. We went to H&R Block, my ex and we ended up having a huge mistake that cost us over $5,000. That made me say, like, no, this is not okay. We need something better. So I started taking some tax courses while I was a mom of 2 at the time, and I had a baby. My now 10-year-old was only 6 months old. And from there, started growing. I moved to Victoria, BC in 2016, and my aunt encouraged me, since she got me into bookkeeping, hey, if you love it so much, why don't you go to school for it? So in 2016, I went back to school, got my CPA, and slowly grew my firm. And then in 2022, I officially registered my firm and started offering just basic accounting. And from there, I found that I love doing more than just accounting. And it grew into what is now a fractional CFO and strategic growth partner advisory firm. As I do more than just accounting, I advise people on how to save money in their business, as well as I partner with very high-end companies and help them save money by saying, hey, if you're spending too much here, I've got a partner here who can save you money and get you better results.
That's awesome. Money is a very important topic, as well as like saving. I'm sure. I mean, there's a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot involved with money and whatever, and keep on top of those things is important. Is important.
It's very important.
So we have a couple other people here. We have Brian Lucy out of Colorado. So, Brian, you want to say a little bit about who you are, what you do, and if you have any questions for Serena before we get more kicked off here?
Let's see. I'm Brian Lucy. I'm a real estate investor based in Colorado. I do real estate investing, but I do it in a little bit different way than what everybody else does. Most traditional real estate investors will, once they find a house, they will either give them a lower price and try and get the house that way, and then go to the bank or go to a hard money lender and try and borrow money from them that way. And I don't do that. The way that my company works is that we will give somebody a much higher price, maybe even full price for their house, and we don't go through banks. We actually use private lenders in order to buy and rehab the houses if something like that happens. But in most cases, we're working with people that are getting much higher prices for their house, because we have the business model that we pay them higher price because we work with what are called terms. And all that is just we're going to give you a higher price, but we would like time in order to pay you off. So whether that be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever. But they get a guaranteed price the day that they work with us. So that's me. I don't have any. I just got my taxes done, and I was not very happy, but at least I didn't have to pay for it. So I don't know. I got no good questions.
So let me get here. So how so Serena, do you only work in it for is your company only for people in Canada, or is it the US too, or how?
Canada and the US.
Oh, okay. So do you have like a big team, or what's the where
It's
you're
a
looking
small
to
team now.
go with the thing here?
It's a small team, and we're actually looking at growing. So we just posted recently a job for kind of like a sales representative, but a high ticket sales representative, as we're looking for someone to help bring in more of those higher quality leads, as well as generating those higher ticket sales, as we are a firm that works with companies who start off with a 1 million in revenue, and we help them grow to the point where they're in the billions, until they need a full-time CFO and in-house. And we also teach them on, if you're a small to medium-sized business, you do not need to hire in-house right away, as you are going to be spending a lot more money having a full team in-house compared to outsourcing to a firm.
Okay.
So we're still growing. And we're hoping to grow to the point where we have physical offices across Canada and the US.
Okay. So how many do we have so far?
Right now, physical offices is 0. We
Okay.
are strictly remote, and I have 2 employees who work for me right now.
Oh, okay.
And one is US, and he's based in California, and one is in Toronto.
Awesome.
How did you figure out that you like the numbers? I mean, I've done my taxes before, and I don't get this.
I fell in love with it when I was actually in high school. At 17, I was the youngest accountant for Rona, which is kind of a hardware store. And I fell in love with just counting the tills, counting the money, and doing a basic balance sheet with the tills. And then when I started doing it in construction, I fell in love with organizing the receipts and seeing the client's profits grow. That is my biggest thrill, and that has always been my drive when it comes to working with clients, is if I can help you drive your sales and drive that revenue where you become more profitable. And it's not just on a sheet, it says, oh yes, you're profitable here, and your bank balance says, oh no, like I'm not profitable. It's, I help you where you're profitable on both ends, and creating that cash flow so that it works streamlessly, where you're like, I am successful, I am happy. And for me, it's just, I love helping. And that's always been my biggest drive, is I've done quite a few different things, including healthcare, and it's always been all about helping.
Neat. I like counting money too, but it's just not a big part of it.
It's not for everybody. Christina, mommy's busy. Okay, well, Archie's supposed to be. Hold on 1 second, sorry.
So
yeah, I tried that. I hate doing taxes every year. Oh.
I get such a thrill out of it because usually I have different ways where I can help people where they get money back. Especially if you are self-employed or you work from home, there are so many tax benefits.
Yeah, like I said, that is definitely not my lane. I know that I am not. I'm not a discounter. There is no way. I dread it every year.
My job is trying to make sure that you're not dreading it and making sure that it's easier for you and talking to you in ways that you're like, oh, hey, I got a tax return. Hey, it's bigger than I thought.
Yeah, unfortunately, mine is not big. Yeah.
Yes, I've noticed with depending on where you are with Canada, it's been a lot easier to drive those higher tax returns. With the IRS, it is a bit harder. I'm not going to deny that, but there are still ways.
So, Sirena, if somebody wanted to uh, work with you, like what's like the process, or what would be the typical way they would be able to, like, what's the first typical thing that, what would that look like if somebody wanted to like work with you? I guess is a better wording of the question.
First, they would send me an email at info@serenasconsulting.com.
Okay.
And then I would send them an intake form, and then we would set up our first initial consultation. And that is so that I could get to know them and their company better. So they have a choice on a 30-minute or a 60-minute, depending on their time and availability. And then from there, it goes to, okay, is it a right fit or not? As we do more than one consultation to make sure that we're dealing with the right fit. If we're not the right fit for you, we do have other companies that we work with in the same field where we would refer you to. If, for example, your revenue is not where we usually take in clients, I do have another partner with Genius Consulting who helps scale those companies from, even if you're like 250 in revenue up to 900 in revenue or a million in revenue, and he helps you get to that point where you're past a million, and then I take over. So it all depends on who you are, what exactly the services you're looking for. As we start off with our bare bottom tier, which is essential operations, and then it goes all the way up to fractional CFO services.
Okay, that's good.
And we want to make sure you have the right services. So again, if it's not us or if it's not my business partner, Anderson with Genius Consulting, then we have other people that we work with as well.
That's awesome. I see we have Marianne over at Geeky here. Hi, Marianne.
I'm Emily and Sirena and Brian. Nice to see you on this World of Ability podcast. I'm author and applicant developer of the Acts of Kindness series, featuring 200 folk cannabis audits. And Sirena, if you stay around, we're supposed to have Sam, Bob, and John. We're doing our Saturday book club. We're reading my book, Full Acts of Kindness, dedicated to Leon McLaughlin with Clayton Moore Foundation. And that's what we're up to. So we'll see who rolls in with us later today. So glad you could join us. Sirena, I'm also working with Brennan Williams. He's a sound bath dealer, and he has a degree in accounting and worked with nonprofits. So he may join us as well. Send us your information out to him.
Sounds wonderful.
How have you been, Marianne? What have you been up to?
Just we've done some events and just relaxing. And we had a couple of good meetings with Brian, with Jim Bannon, and we also met with my brother Suzanne Sims to do a sound bath healing here in San Carlos. And we had an update from Leon. So those are just a few power meetings, but other than just kind of resting and Yeah, tomorrow I'm actually doing a book signing. They're having a book fair here, so I'm gonna go down and sell my books and be done with that. It's getting warm and a lot of people have left, so that's where we're at. We'll be rolling into May, and that's pretty much it.
I know, I can't believe it's already the end, almost the end of April.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, where did April go? That's the question.
Yeah. But good news, I got my, I've gotten into, over the last couple of years, I got into using fresh herbs. And I bought a basil plant 4 years ago. And I got it going so well that it was, before it died, it was almost 3.5 feet tall.
Oh well.
Wow.
The thing was like that wide, that big by, like I said, like almost 3.5 feet tall. I had so much basil I couldn't use the rest of it. Oh, see, there you go.
The funny thing is, these ponds were left to me the week of Easter, and I bought these coffee cups, and they're actually made out of tires. And I planted them, and I planted cement, and I was just talking about when I captured the sale, I want to get basil and rosemary plant, so that's what I'm looking for to put in these plants. So that was my little project, and that's my Easter basket gifts to me because somehow someone gave me those palms. I have 3 of them now, and they're cute coffee cups. So I don't know what I'll coffee stand, but anyway, it was fun replanting them and got them in to grow. So I'm looking for basil and so that's pretty. It grows pretty high.
Yeah.
Basil.
And I'll give you a tip that I didn't. I discovered a little while after I started planting, or after I planted it. If you can get neutral pH water, 6 or 7 on the neutral pH scale, plants love that stuff. I use Kangen water,
Okay.
and yeah, Kangen. But
Oh yeah.
if you can get, if you have access to that, I would say use what they call beauty water, and it works so well. I mean, like I said, I used that exclusively, and it was. I mean, like I said, I got it. Mine grew to almost 3.5 feet tall. So
Yeah. I heard banana water too, so I take banana peels and stick them in water.
I've heard that too.
Yeah.
I haven't tried that. Yeah, I haven't tried that.
So anyway, clean water is good for everybody. So that's when we working with Leon. Leon also is working, I guess, with some students at the university with AI and the bomber units. So he gave us an update. I don't know if I have a picture of it, but it was pretty interesting. So we sent it out to Dr. Barbie. And we also met with Stu and Lori. The Stu and Lori radio show, Santa Papa John and I did. And they want Santa Papa John to do some I don't know, storytelling. So that was another meeting too. So we had some 4 or 5 productive meetings this week. That's what I did, and I go, I don't know, what did I do? But we really did. And so the Stu and Lori, they're going to be giving, I guess, a car away every month. And so we'll see what happens with Santa Papa John. So pretty interesting stuff. And I'm trying to find this stuff with Leon. But
I don't think I know them.
here's a new flyer from Mark TV. So getting the word out about Mark. So if you want to do branding or advertising. We had a meeting with him a couple of weeks ago. So he was impressed with Brennan and his accounting background and some bad healing opportunities there for some centers in the future, some healing centers. So we just had some brainstorming meetings. And last Sunday, Brennan did a sound bath, and we were in that sound bath at the Santa Maria. And so, yeah, did some healing work also too. And people are getting involved. And there's tomorrow is the art walk that would be in. So, yeah, we've had some events, keeping busy.
Always a good thing.
Brian will put their website in the chat for you, but Serena, what's someone's like favorite thing about what you? What's your favorite thing about what you do?
My favorite thing is when I get to do the consultations with my clients and I get to sit there and tell them where they're at. I have to admit a couple times when I sat there and said, hey, listen, like I was going through your books and I noticed there's a huge jump in revenue from the previous year to the current year. And I get so excited and I show them the gross profits. And then they're like, really? I did all that? I'm like, yeah, sometimes it's harder for as a business owner for you to see like how well you did, even if your books are saying one thing, and sometimes having another person from the outside saying, hey, look, you're doing amazing, like you're doing successful, keep it going. And then sometimes I admit like it's a little harder when you're talking to people who want to just spend. But my biggest thing is I love to teach people and guide them in a direction where they can grow.
Brian, did you have a question or comment, or you were just raising your hand just because?
Oh, that was me. I'm the spender. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't spend as much as I could, but
Okay, so those are some of the water units that Leanne's working on. Again, when he joins us, he can discuss them. Those are what they look like.
neat.
Let me. So what's anything new in your world, Brian?
I'm getting an app done.
Oh, an app, okay, for your real estate thing, or what? What's this app gonna do or help or?
Yeah, it's only for me, but it's going to be it's part of the one of the sections of the business that I have. But yeah, I've been trying to get it done now for I don't know 6 months or so, and I finally got some headway on it. So I found an AI company that does you tell it what you're looking for, and it's does all the coding for you. And so I started that on like Wednesday or Thursday, and it's kind of crude, but at least it looks like kind of what I'm looking for. So I'm making more headway on that.
That's good. That's good.
Okay.
So, like, what part of the business are you looking for it to help with, or anything like that?
So it's part of the it's essentially the foreclosure side of it. So
Oh, okay.
what I do is if somebody gets foreclosed on for a tax lien, I have to go out and find the former owner if whatever the county or the state or whatever, whoever foreclosed on it, sold it for more than what was owed on the taxes. So I have to go out and find the original owner of that property and call them, call them and tell them, hey, you've got money coming back to you. And a lot of what it's been has been a lot of manual prospecting, initially, and it's gotten to the point now where I don't enjoy that part of it anymore. So I'm trying to get the app to where it'll automatically scroll through, find what I'm looking for, sort it, put it into like CRM essentially, and then start doing the reach out to the former owners.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and it'll be a lot easier if I can if I can get something to start automatically doing it, because right now it's like I said, there's a lot of front end on the initial part of it. So
Yeah. So when somebody comes to you, like, what do you see are like the most common, questions that they come to you with, or where they, what kind of thing that they're stuck with, or anything like that when they come to you?
It's usually a cash flow issue. They see the numbers as, say, for example, hey, I got a lot of revenue, but they don't see where all the money's always going. So, like Brian, I'm actually creating an app for CFOs, whether you're in-house or fractional, where it creates it so much easier. And people will sit there and they're like, well, I have all these spreadsheets, but I'm so confused. And I said, okay, well, let me create an app so that I can help you. And I sit there and I'll explain to them, like, hey, listen, again, this is going into the expense category. Is I will see a lot of times companies, including marketing agencies, spending a lot of money on their marketing services or their products, and they are not getting a lot of return from it. So, for example, I see a lot of people paying for paid ads. Paid ads is not the best way when you are a very small company. If you are, and I'm going to say it very bluntly, if you are under $500,000 in revenue, I highly suggest do not do paid ads. There is so many better free versions to get your name out there that work a lot better, such as doing podcasts, such as social media, promoting yourself on LinkedIn. And that is something where people think, oh, well, I have to pay for these ads. I have to pay for lead generation. No, you don't. And that's where a lot of companies, they get very, very stuck and they get confused and they say, well, Sirena, you're just a CFO, or Sirena, you're just an accountant. I speak from experience because I have tested and tried so many different categories and strategies such as AI, and the best thing that I found was honestly using ChatGPT, Gemini, and creating those posts, scheduling out my posts once a month, usually on LinkedIn and Facebook, and choosing your platforms where you want to promote yourself. So depending on what you do for services, it could be Instagram, it could be TikTok, it could be YouTube, it could be Twitter, which I believe is now called X. So a lot of times the biggest struggle is they are spending too much money in one section of their business. Again, mainly marketing, or it's going to be inventory.
Okay.
And with the inventory side too, I have seen a lot of companies, they are buying at retail price and they're not buying at wholesale. So that again is where I will come in and say, hey, listen, I have a partner here. Let's get you those wholesale prices instead of you paying retail, and then you can actually make a profit. And then on top of that, I will teach them a bit more about how to do the markup properly. As most companies, they think, oh, well, I need to do 10% or I need to do 20% so that I can have money coming in. No, you want to, when you purchase something at wholesale, you want to make sure that you mark it up by at least 50%. So then you actually have the money coming in going towards other things, not just that inventory.
Awesome.
yeah, I think that's kind of the same way with mine. Is when we buy it, if we buy it for essentially a wholesale price, we end up buying And then once you fix up the house, I mean, we mark it up 10% because with the real estate side of it, you could mark it up 50%, but at least with ours, that would make it way too unaffordable, and nobody would look at our houses. But yeah, it's the same concept.
Yes, with real estate, I admit is completely different than most of the companies that I do work with, as I mainly work with marketing and construction and retail companies. I have worked with real estate. It's been more property management, and what I have seen in real estate is a markup of between 10 to 25%.
And that's always a good way to do it, because then that way you're not having to necessarily stress out about trying to figure out what the correct price would be.
Yes. Another thing with real estate too that I've noticed is a lot of times people will have someone come in and evaluate the home. How is the appliances? How is everything? As I find, and this is in Canada, a lot of the newer homes they are selling for $600 to $1 million, and they are cheaply made. Um, and this is not me trying to be harsh. I actually was just living recently in a brand new home. I was the second person who lived there within a 6 months of it being built. And the hot water tank looked like it was 10 years old and corroding. The floors were not properly built. The steps were not put in proper places. Things were falling. And for a brand new home, that shows that it was cheaply made and made poor quality. Whereas when you purchase a home for 700 to a million, you want it to be made properly, be good standing. Like you don't want to purchase a home that's going to fall apart in a week. Like who wants that?
Price.
So when you're looking at purchasing a home, like you want to make sure you have all the inspectors in place and making sure like, hey, like was this home built properly or was it made very cheaply? And I've actually been in 2 homes in the last 3 years that were brand new homes where things just fell. I had curtains fall straight from where they were supposed to be attached. The toilet paper dispensers, I found out that in other units, the mirrors were falling off, countertops were falling off, and I'm like,
Oh, shit.
these are brand new homes and they are not being built properly. And even though I don't work in construction, I come from a family who has been doing construction and working my whole entire life. So I have an uncle who built homes for a living. And I called out when the builders came to put caulking in. I said, putting a tiny little bead is not enough for caulking. It's going to separate. And they're like, oh no, that's normal wear and tear. I'm like, not when it's only 2 days and it's splitting apart. Do your job properly. And they screamed at me, I'm a builder. I'm like, clearly not for Canada. You're not. Because you need to work with the terms and conditions of our country. And Canada and US, we have a lot of very similar climate. So, for example, in Alberta, where I was living in close to Montana area, it can be very dry during the summertime, but during wintertime, it's very cold.
Yeah.
Whereas you go down to Texas, it's very hot. If you come to where I am right now, currently Victoria, BC, we are a very tropical climate. As we are in what is known as the tropical rainforest, so you have to work with the different weather conditions and the climate. And I find a lot of builders are coming in with 0 to very little experience on how our climate actually works. And that is huge when it comes to the construction business because you want someone who's an expert in construction. Just like for real estate, you want someone who knows the value of your home. You want someone who's an expert in that. When it comes to accounting and financials, you want someone who's an expert, not someone who's like, oh, I'm going to look up some YouTube videos and, oh, I can figure it out from there. No. And I have had to clean up after so many bookkeepers who I call them YouTube bookkeepers who have never gone to school and they're like, oh yeah, I can just YouTube it and figure it out from here. And it's like the amount of mess. And so that is another thing where I love to train and teach people and guide them, even if you're a small startup company. I don't usually work with startups, but I have no problem taking the time to train you on how to do your own bookkeeping while you are so small that you don't need an accountant. And then I will guide you for when it comes time to you needing that bookkeeper or an accountant, where to look. I will give you a list of resources. On top of that, if the resources are not the right fit, I have no problem going out and looking for the right fit for you and for your company, because of the fact that I do not want to see companies falling apart. From one bad bookkeeper, you are risking spending between $75,000 to $750,000 in tax mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
So it is really not worth it to hire a YouTube bookkeeper.
Well, I mean, as far as the uh, building side of it, obviously, that whoever these people are that are built, these builders that are building houses, obviously they're not going off of whatever the current code is.
No, they are not. And the sad thing, and we found this out actually in one of the last places I lived in Strathmore, is a lot of times what they were doing is taking even the insulation. And we get in Strathmore, Alberta, it was up to minus 50, sometimes even minus 70 degrees Celsius weather. That is freezing cold. You get frostbite. And there's no insulation in these homes because they are taking the insulation after the inspector comes and putting it into the next home and passing it from home to home. And people do not realize this until after they have to do renovations.
And I'm sure at that point the builder could be sued for selling basically a substandard house.
I'm pretty sure they can, except for they disappear by then.
Oh, so they're one of those types of builders. Okay, got it. Yeah, got it.
I found that a lot in both Calgary, Alberta, and Strathmore, Alberta, and I love Victoria because I'm like, I hate the cold. I just went back actually recently. Earlier this week on Wednesday, I was there, and I come to Victoria. I'm like, it's so green. We got flowers blooming. We got tulips, and there's daffodils. And then I go back to Calgary. I'm like, everything is dead. It's just dead.
All like brown and whatever.
It literally was, everything was brown, no leaves on the trees, no flowers blooming, nothing. And I'm like, it is dead.
It's like night and day.
Yeah. And that's where I'm like so excited this afternoon. I'm like, kids, we're packing a picnic lunch, we're going to the beach, like we're going to enjoy the ocean. I got last Sunday actually a sunburn, and I'm like, I go to Calgary and there's snow and dead everything.
Jeez. Brian.
No, don't like snow.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the snow either, so that's one of the reasons I came back to Victoria. My business has always thrived here in Victoria, and I've always had the proper support network that I needed. And that's another thing that businesses need to understand is without a proper support network, it's really hard to have a striving business, no matter what you're doing for business. It's even if it's just someone in your personal circle. I've had for the last 10 years, it's been my mom, my ex Clayton, and since 2019, my best friend Sarah, who have been my biggest support networks when it comes to my company and all the companies that I've owned and even companies that I've worked for on the side. And they've always supported me in everything, as well as one other person. Her name is Gabrielle. And she has seen the potential in my company. And even though it has had its ups and downs, tax season's always the busiest, but she knows that, hey, like, it's meant to thrive. It's meant to be bigger. And she's even seen too that it thrives better in BC than it ever has in Alberta.
That's awesome.
There is something to be said for support system and mentors.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's important to have a good support system.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I would have gotten. I know I wouldn't have gotten to where I am if I didn't have a good mentor. Because I've worked with people in the past that the guy that I'm working with now has got so much experience in the investing side of it, and he's been doing it for 44 years now. And I've had some great mentors, and I've had some really awful ones. And there's a lot to be said for people that you can call at any time and say, I got a question. I am not. And somebody had asked me something. I don't know the answer. What is the answer?
Yeah.
I seem to be that for a couple of my exes as well as their friends, as they'll call me up asking me business questions, or accounting questions, and then one of my exes, the one in Alberta, will sit here saying, "Nope, I'm going to my new accountant." I'm like, "Okay, fine. Stop calling me then to ask me for this accounting advice. Like, it's not worth my time or energy." One thing that drove me nuts, and I cannot handle time wasters, so that's why when I do my intake process, I want to make sure that people who I work with are not a time waster. And that's not just for my business, that's for all businesses that I work with. So if I'm going to be a referral partner for someone, I make sure that, hey, this person's not going to be a time waster, or what we also call a tire kicker. So, we know a tire kicker when they say, "Oh, I can't afford that," or, "Oh, can you lower the price for me?" No, our businesses as professionals is, we are here to support you, but we are not here to devalue ourselves. And that's another thing I teach people too within my firm, is knowing your value, knowing your worth. And to know your self-worth is to know your business worth.
Right.
And that is something that a lot of people as business owners struggle with, and also taking time away from business to focus on personal things. I've had to take a lot of time the last 3 weeks for personal, as I just moved 2 weeks ago, back to the island, and then started dealing with my ex's stuff. And today I'm like, I'm gonna take a half a day vacation and go to the beach with my kids. Like, I need it, I deserve it, and I don't care what anyone else says. And that's one thing where, as CEOs, as founders, as even just a small business owner, we're like, oh my gosh, I gotta spend 24/7 on everything. We're wearing so many hats. We're doing the marketing, we're doing the accounting, we're doing everything, doing the sales calls. And a lot of times it's just one solo person doing it. And so you're just like, I have 20 different hats on. I don't have time for a simple little picnic. And sometimes it's just saying, like, no, I just need this one day a week for just me. So, for example, me, Sundays, that is my day for just me and my youngest daughter, and we go out and do something together. Monday after 2 p.m., it's I'm done work for the rest of the day, and I go have my girls' time with my best friend Sarah. No kids, no work, just relaxing and enjoying ourselves. And today I was like, I almost forgot about the meeting today. I admit that. And I was like, oh, let's go. Oh, wait, I gotta go do someone's taxes here this afternoon. Oh, wait, let's still go to the beach. I don't care. It's nice enough out. Let's just have some fun.
Right.
And it's the best part about Victoria is I can go to the beach and then turn around and go hiking the same day, because they're so close.
Are you on the west side of the county, or are you on the east side?
I'm on west side, and Victoria is in Canada.
Hmm?
So it's on.
You're on the west side of the continent.
Yeah.
Country. Whatever.
Yeah. I'm West Coast.
Okay.
I've never been to the East Coast.
Yeah. They're all around the U.S., but never been to. I can say I've never been to Canada before.
Really? Yeah. I've been to California. I was 12 years old, and we went to Disneyland with Dreams Take Flight. And it was only a day trip. It was exhausting, but it was so much fun. And I plan on coming back for actually my kids, so that they can experience Disneyland, as that was a really happy place. And then through a nonprofit I'm actually working with, I have trips coming up to New York and Puerto Rico.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
It should be. I am so excited. I've always wanted to go to New York. That's somewhere that just fascinates me, like how big it is and how historical it is, like how so many settlers originally landed there and how fast it was built. So I love exploring history. I know it's more like a big empire now instead of like old school 1800s. But it's just, I am so fascinated by history. So part of what my plans are with my children is travel eventually. To Amsterdam, to Greece, um, see exactly where our relatives came from. So Ireland, Scotland, all over Northern Europe.
That would be fantastic. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah,
I am
me too.
excited to eventually do it.
Yeah, my family is from Ireland as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, my mom's side of the family, her parents were from the Netherlands, but her grandparents, on her mother's side, were the original family that founded most of Northern Europe. So I am excited to see the family farm that is in, I believe it's called Rottingham in the Netherlands, and see Amsterdam and see where my Oma grew up. Obviously, have to go check out the Anne Frank Museum.
Yeah.
Um, and then just go from there and explore all the different European countries that my family is from.
Yeah. That would be cool. That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So Emily, got a question.
So is it what's
Does Kurt ever get on to these calls?
he has, yes. Uh,
Because I hadn't seen him, and I'm just wondering if it's a figment of my imagination.
no, no. So where's just talking about different places? What's the behind you? Your graphic behind you,
I
Ryan?
have no idea.
Oh,
It was just some random picture that I found on the internet.
oh, okay.
I wish I could say that it was somewhere that I knew, but it looks a lot like Colorado, but I seriously doubt. Well, no, it's not because it's got an ocean behind it. So yeah, it's definitely not Colorado.
Kind of looks like a prehistoric mountain.
Yeah, it could be. Like I said, I don't. It was just some random picture I found on the internet, so it just looked cool, and I just thought I'd put it on there.
Well, I like it. So
It was funny because I have a mastermind that we do on Saturday, and two of the guys that are in it have now discovered that you can put these kind of things on the background, and they've now decided that every 5 minutes they're going to change the change the picture.
oh, jeez.
Like, stop, please stop, you're making me nauseous, please stop.
Yeah, they're changing it every couple minutes. Yeah,
Yeah,
when like during a meeting, yeah, that can get a little.
yeah, yeah. It's like every 5 minutes, and in some cases it's not even that long.
Oh, jeez.
So yeah. But, oh well.
So have you either of you have any memorable stories of with clients or favorite stories with clients or um or anything
I have a
like
lot of
that?
stories.
Memorable clients, anything like that?
I've had a lot of stories. Some of them are not appropriate for a podcast,
Okay.
but and it's nothing bad. It's just they were not. I figured out later they were not my ideal client.
Oh, okay.
And the one that I remember the most was my neighbor, my neighbor down the street. Turns out her husband had passed away, and he ended up dying without a will. And when it happened, I mean, she was just miserably unhappy. They'd been married for, I don't know, 40 years, I think, or something, somewhat close to that. And she had no idea what to do, and she didn't know what she was going to do with the house. And I just, I just told her, I said, I'll do whatever I can to help you. So we ended up working it out to where she ended up selling the house because she wasn't going to be able to afford it without his income. And we ended up trying to get the bank to work with her on, kind of giving her a reduced price, trying to get it because she was trying to get it sold, and the bank wouldn't play along. They were just, no, we're not doing that. And we finally got them to give her a payoff letter. She ended up getting some money out of closing, but she couldn't find the will. The insurance companies insurance that he had, they wouldn't give her his money because she had no way of proving who she was, even though she had her marriage certificate.
Oh,
And
jeez.
yeah, it was a big mess. So it was a lot of working through all that. But when she finally ended up selling the house, she did make some money out of it, and she now lives with her kids. So she's happier than she was. It all ended up working out, but it was just everybody that I work with now. I tell them, look, if you own a house, if you own anything, get a will done. Once you get the will done, have it recorded, because like here, when we do it here, if you record it at our courthouse, if anything happens, they have a copy of it, so you don't have to spend 6 months trying to find it.
Right.
And it makes it so much easier.
Right.
So, yeah.
Welcome, Shayla.
Well, hello everybody. How are you all?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Thank you for asking.
I'm not sure, Shayla. I'm not sure if you've met Brian or Sirena at all, but if you want to say a little bit about who you introduce yourself a little bit.
I would love to. Thank you so much, Emily. So, hi Brian. Hi Serena. So, my name is Shella Chaudhry, and you know what? I love to help people. I am an entrepreneur whose mission is to leave no one behind, to positively impact those who cross my path, and to create win-win partnerships and collaborations with others. And I love to be a U.S. healthcare advocate and disruptor. And what I mean by that is I represent a nonprofit, and the only reason we exist is to provide people with healthcare. And we're talking about major medical, we're talking about community, a group of like-minded individuals who come together to support each other with their health. And so I love it. We give you choice, we give you dignity, we give you respect, and best of all, we don't charge you what the insurance companies charge you. We charge you 50 to 70% less. And so that's a little bit about what I do. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Awesome. Brian or Serena, you want to say a little bit about what you guys do again for Shella?
Yeah, I would love that.
I'm a real estate investor.
Oh, lovely. Well, we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What do you do, Serena?
I am a strategic CFO and growth partner advisor. I work mainly with 1 million plus in revenue for clients, but I also work with some nonprofits as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm going to say this. I think that I would love to get your contact information because we also are expanding into fintech. And I think there's a lot of people who would benefit from knowing what that's all about. But I'm going to share my information into the chat, but I would love to get your information as well. Just maybe a discovery call with you. Both.
I will put in my email as well as my website for you.
Absolutely. Thank you. I'm going to grab my information for you both.
So what's new with you, Shella?
I can find it.
Oh, say it again, Emily. What's new? Just been, you know, at some different training events in and out of the country, and I'm headed to Ottawa this upcoming weekend, and then I'll be back. Then I will be back.
Yeah, so yeah, Serena's in Canada too, so I guess
Oh,
you guys
really?
have
Okay,
some
that's
some
cool.
stuff can come in with being in Canada.
That's great. Where do you live, Serena?
I just recently moved back to Victoria, BC after living in Strathmore, Alberta for the last 2 years.
Oh, you were in Alberta. Okay, well, I live in Calgary, so we were actually really close.
Oh wow, yeah, I go back to Calgary quite often. My next trip to Calgary for sure that I know of.
Yeah.
I'm driving my mom up and I will be there on the 15th of May.
Oh, that's really great. Well, there's nothing like an in-person discovery, right? In-person coffee. That would be kind of fun.
I would love that. I'm gonna have my youngest kids out of my 4 kids with me, just so you have a heads up. But I would love to meet for coffee.
All right, that sounds great. So I will grab my contact information and drop it into the chat. I'm looking for it right now. And then how about you, John? Oh, sorry, one second.
No, I was gonna say,
Brian,
John's
sorry,
not here yet.
No, sorry, Brian. How about you? Where are you located?
I'm in Colorado.
Nice. You know what? I was just there for a really long 8-hour layover.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it depends on where you were at. If you were in Denver, I'm sure that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was. So, oh my goodness.
Denver is a whole different animal. I've been up to their airport like a couple different times, and they've got some very strange murals there.
I just, it was a pretty interesting time there. Yeah, let me just put it that way. And you know what? It wasn't bad. It just was different. And it's all good. I met some really great people.
You didn't get to see the demon horse then, evidently.
No, I didn't, but I heard all about it. Somebody on the flight was telling me about it. I heard all about it, and it fell down and it knocked over the person who was its artist or the creator, right? Who was putting it together.
It
killed him. Yeah, it killed him. That's right. That's why the name Demon Horse, or that's where it came from.
Yeah.
That's right. Brian. Yeah. I heard some interesting things.
That's why I avoid Denver at all costs.
Oh, you're so funny. Well, I didn't know this, and now I do. Now I know. Let me just.
Well, it's good to meet everybody. Emily, I got to get going. I have a thing I got to get done. So.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for coming.
I'll see you guys next week then.
Okay, sounds good.
Nice to meet everybody.
Bye, everybody.
I also have to hop off. My phone's actually about to die, and like I said, I have a tax client to go meet this afternoon before I go to the beach with my kids.
Oh, that sounds lovely. The beach. You know what I'm going to do before you jump off? I'm going to just throw my contact information into the chat.
Perfect.
Yeah. There you go. So that's the right one. Perfect. Well, it was great to meet you.
It was wonderful to meet you as well. I just screenshotted it and I will send you a message immediately.
Oh, that sounds great. All right. So then I will talk to you another time. It was great to meet you.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
So, a long time no see.
I know. It's just been a little bit busy with all this travel stuff happening. So what's new? What is new, Miss Emily?
We've got some things going on. I started a few other podcasts recently, like the last month, and working with some different people. So it's been exciting.
That's great. I actually booked into your calendar, so we're finally booked. You need correct. We're booked in May when I'm back.
Okay.
We're booked. I'm excited.
Yeah. So what were you doing in Colorado recently?
Oh, I was actually just I was supposed to be in Columbus, Ohio for a business event. So
Okay.
my flight just ended up getting I had to catch another one.
Oh,
We
okay.
actually had snow. We had snow here. Emily, we had some snow. Actually, we have snow today as well, which is funny. So in Alberta, I guess the second snowiest month is April. I thought it was March,
Oh, lovely.
but it's actually April. So we've had a snowstorm every week.
Oh,
Every week
jeez.
of April.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. That's okay. So I was just waiting 8 hours there to catch my next flight to Columbus. That's kind of my Denver story.
Oh, okay. Well, how was the business trip? Or how did it
It
go
was
in
really
Ohio?
great. Yeah, no, it was really great. It was great. The people were really great. The trip was great, and so there's a lot. There's a lot of expansion that's going to be happening over the next 5 months.
Okay.
October 1st of this year is the FinTech launch date, so it's a big event.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about that. I mean, I don't know if people actually know much about FinTech, but
I'm not sure if I do.
well, there is a way now that everyday people can participate in FinTech and get paid like a bank, which was never possible before. And so
Okay.
that's kind of what we're expanding into. And phase one is going to be incredible. It's going to really be incredible because anytime someone uses a debit or credit card, we will get paid. So anytime a payment comes out of your account, there's a way to get paid. And so that's just one of the ways. So one of the three things that's happening with the FinTech expansion. So it's kind of really, really, really big, very big.
Okay. That's awesome.
It is. And then if anyone sends money back home to their countries and supports their countries and supports family, there's a way to get paid from that too. And so we're helping a lot of hardworking people get positioned right now to be paid like a bank. So that's really big. And it's exciting because this is what people are looking for when things in the economy are happening like right now. We need every possible alternative method to get paid.
Yeah.
That's what we do. And we feed hungry children too.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I love. Very happy about that.
Yeah.
Yes, so I see we have Marianne.
Yeah, I see that.
So
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I see we have. Oh, I think we just lost her. I was just gonna.
well, you know what? When she comes back, I am going to get headed on to my next appointment.
Okay.
Yeah, see if she comes back. Yeah. So where is Miss Sue today?
I think they're at some rugby tournament kind of thing right now.
I got you. All right, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So you said you're working on some new podcast projects?
Yeah. Also with the mutual aid network, have a couple events coming up. One is May 9th and so on. So yeah, there's some exciting things.
All right, that sounds like a lot of fun. How do you fit it all into your schedule? You are one busy lady, Emily.
Yeah, to try.
Yeah.
So how are the kids doing and everybody?
They're good. They're really good. You know, my kids are a little bit older, so they're 20 and 23, so they're busy with work and just life, work and life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what did they do? What did they do for work?
Well, I have one daughter who works at the hospital, and then my
Okay.
older daughter, she is in real estate, and she's also working at two of our local hospitals.
Oh,
And yeah, so eventually I think she'll still pursue a career in medicine. We'll see. We'll see how things go for her. We'll see, we'll see where her interests go.
yeah. What do they do at the hospital?
Well, I have one daughter who is a medical unit clerk.
Okay.
So so she's that's what she finished in her program for, but she's working as a porter right now, which is great as well. So until she finds the right fit. For her first job, working 7 days straight for 12 hours, so 7 days on, 7 days off, 12-hour
geez.
shifts was not ideal. So
Oh, jeez, that'd be a lot. Or
yeah,
sounds
that'd be
like
a
a
lot
lot.
for anyone, right? But a 19-year-old, I'm like, my husband and I were advising her, we're like, no, maybe you should just, let's do something that's not 7 days a week, 12 hours, right? It's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's looking for something that's a good fit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So she's a porter right now, but medical unit clerk is what she finished in school, and she's looking.
Yeah. Hopefully she finds something. She
Yeah.
looks doing.
Yeah. Well, what I noticed is it's all who you know. Like you have to have the qualifications, but if you know the right people, it really helps get your foot in the door. That's what I've noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is about it. So I'm just going to go back on mute for a few minutes here, and I'll be back in a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
See, we have
Oh,
hello.
look,
Come
you
on
got
in here.
Helen. Okay, this is perfect timing. You have your next.
Yeah, I know.
It's funny. I think Helen and I were trying to connect once, and once or twice we connected on LinkedIn.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I'm
Hi,
curious
Helen.
to see.
She's.
Hello.
How are
I
you?
was, yeah, I took some time off. I got up really, really early, and so you guys are still meeting.
Yep.
Hi, Shahia. I can't remember how to say your name. Can you please help me?
Yeah, Shella like Bella. Shella.
Shella.
Yeah, I just rhyme it with Bella because people can say Bella and then just add the
That's
SH.
right. People can say Bella. So
That's
Shella.
right.
Okay.
Perfect. Tell me what you do. Remind me of what you do.
I'm a retired nurse. I'm 72, so I had my 40-year career in by 2016, and now I'm just a global volunteer, and I'm
Love it.
weaving with Kurt, and where we can volunteer and connect. And so, Emily, I think we met in maybe 2016, 15, somewhere in there. When did you start? Definitely we had met by the time that Global Happiness, I introduced Kurt to Global Happiness, and then you got pulled in there.
Yeah, I think we might have met.
Do you remember, Emily?
Emily, you're muted.
Yeah, I think we might have met in like 2021.
Oh, wow.
Oh, gosh, that was long. I was clear off then. That was the year I had switched to Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Helen, where are you located again?
Well, I'm in Kansas. That's my base thing. But in 2021, I was on a 6-month sabbatical, and so I was the Global Day of Happiness I was on the West Coast welcoming it to from Florida.
Oh, nice. Okay. You mentioned that you were a nurse. Well, what my passion is to disrupt the broken U.S. healthcare system with an incredible alternative that works for doctors and providers and people alike, so business owners and then people in families. And what we do is I represent a nonprofit, and the only reason they exist, Helen, is to actually give people healthcare and to actually make providers' lives easier. What would it be like if you had a system where doctors actually get paid out? There's no prior authorization needed. Like patients actually got the care that they needed. What would that actually be like? What kind of difference would that have made over your 40-year career right?
That would have been that Wellness Weavers has finally bloomed. That's
Yeah,
that's the whole framework. And I know you're involved
that-
with Impact Health Sharing, and I'm an
Yeah.
advocate of that.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It just doesn't work for me because I'm
Yeah.
on Medicare.
Yeah.
And so for me to get involved with health impact sharing, it would cost me more than I'm paying right now.
Oh yeah, no. Then that doesn't
And the thing is, I can't get a meeting with their founders, and I'm a founder of Wellness Weavers. And until people are willing to look at my nursing certifications and why I designed my framework, so it's missing. Right now, it's missing out of Impact Health Sharing, but we could fix that, couldn't we, Shella?
Well, we should have a meeting and talk. I think that's
Absolutely. I've got slides we can look at. Yeah, because it's wise use of tax dollars, time, and then with Helpopedia now launched, now I'm ready to shift focus. So I put my stake in the ground in the Great Discovery. Are you familiar with that platform?
I think I've heard about it once before.
Yes.
I
So
don't
Kurt's
remember
in it
much.
too.
Yeah, I don't
And-
remember much about it though. But that's
Well,
something that, you know,
it's what I call. Let me open up my video here. And this is my latest screen icon.
oh,
You
that's
s-
it.
Yeah, I call that the International Spaces Station. I call the Great Discovery the International Spaces Station because it connects learners and content creators and the people that I'm putting into the Global Green Biz Woman. So WOMAN is an acronym for the Wellness Oriented Mutual Aid Network. And any of the businesses and the nonprofits that we let in are the ones that have my nursing framework and the community service learning system, which is equitable, scalable, and then everybody gets their right tax deductions. The businesses and the nonprofits can give scholarships, they can give grants, and we just address all the things that our volunteers, our employees, and our customers, when they're financially stressed, that it becomes a snowballing focus. And so unfortunately, it's how some very unscrupulous people that are stockholders in the very systems that have US government contracts. It's really, really sad to think what they have legally done to the workers and the huge increase in chronic diseases, mental health problems, the incidence of attention deficit, dementias, cancers, all of that. They diagnose after they created it. They just did have toxic chemical dumps. They like the water in Flint Hill, Michigan. And until somebody points out what's going on, they just continue to get away with it. And then they get tax dollars for Superfund cleanup once they get discovered. And the taxpayers are paying for all that. So Wellness Weavers is a nonprofit that exists for health, for education, and for leadership. And that's empowerment skills. That's actually, we have the Everyone Counts game show. So we look at things from 360 degrees, and we don't waste taxpayer dollars like they do in these Senate investigations that go on and on and on. And in court cases where they hire, those corporations have deep pockets and they pay their lawyers and their experts very, very well just to look the other way. They hire military, they hire people to hack records of whistleblowers like me. So my case is full of evidence all over the place. And it is, when there's whistleblower organizations that don't want to take my case, I know that I have finally hit the mother lode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to hear a little bit about what you do. I do look forward to meeting with you another time so we can kind of have this conversation.
Great.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, yeah, because I remember, I mean, I looked at, as soon as I saw, it's like, oh, she's another one involved in impact health sharing. But you have some other structures behind you, and it's going to take women. I mean, Kurt understands this. He knows I met him in 2015. So he knows how long I've been working on this. At that point, I was 5 years into this, and the people chose me for 20 scholarships. They would tell me about them. I would write for them. I was given 10 grants to administer, to coordinate and administer. They benefited a lot of different people. And now I had to solve this ongoing mystery 16 years into the people, you know, how they have, an FAQ, frequently asked questions.
Yeah.
I have frequently offered excuses.
Okay.
Frequently heard excuses, of all the people that were getting paid to do their work, and how the organized religions that are nonprofit had the CEO model, and they didn't let my equitable, scalable system get to the compassionate volunteers or to the other people that they call their target audience, that we're raising money for for cancer, for autism, for PTSD. It's like, they call me the little woman. I said, yeah, no, I'm part of the big woman. We're all band together. It's not just me in those blue people. It's all of our diversity of people that will finally stand up for what is right.
Well, there's great power in women getting together and advocating for the world. Great power.
Exactly. And people don't, when they see that you have the headgear, and they're like, oh, she's Muslim. And they see me, it's like, oh, she's probably Christian. Yeah. And they don't even know about my Jewish roots. So Emily, do you know about your families, how they migrated before they came to the US? Do you know your heritage?
I don't know about too much, but I think I have family coming over from like Ireland and Germany and so on. So
yeah. Did they go through Ellis Island? Do you know?
I'm not sure if I know that part of it or not.
Okay, well, my Mennonite family didn't come to the U.S. until 1874. So,
Well,
the U.S. was already colonized, America, all of that, and they migrated for religious freedom. And my father, my grandmother, she lived to be almost 106. So she was the most fair woman I ever met. She also really had a heart for reading the Bible. And when I asked her what her favorite book was, she said Esther. So then I drove home and I looked up Esther. I wanted to see what my grandmother's, and I was like, oh, good, it's a short book in the Bible. And it's in the Old Testament. And the Old Testament is a history of the Jews and all of that pre-time, and even the prophets, Isaiah, that predicted the coming of the Messiah, there would be a babe. All of that stuff was predicted by the prophets. And then, of course, when I ask people, what do the Jews, the Muslims, and the Christians all have in common? Do you guys know the answer to that quiz question? Should I play the background music? Dun, dun, dun. I'll give you time to look it up on your smartphones. We play the dun, 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 dun. You guys want to take a guess at what the answer is?
Oh, you might just have to tell me about that.
Yeah.
The first 5 books in the Old Testament are in all 3 books of all religions. People don't. I've only met one person that got that right. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that is.
They know that we have Father Abraham in common. Sometimes people guess that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like studying world religions, and it was a class I took when I was in college. And then when I found it so interesting, and then I didn't have my DNA analyzed until President Trump's first term, when he gave everybody some kind of tax relief check, like it was some big deal. And I was like, oh my gosh, how does a family stretch this? I think it was like $1,200, $1,250. It was like, how does a family of six stretch this money? How is that tax relief? You know? And I was already behind on my property taxes. It wasn't enough to pay off any one building at that point. And so I said, I always wanted to get my DNA analyzed. I had analyzed it in college by blood type in biology, but it was inconclusive because I'm O positive, which is almost the universal donor, but not quite. Anyway, it was inconclusive because my parents were completely different blood types, but they could have both had a recessive of the O, which is I am, O positive. So, but I'm also tell people, keep your blood. You know, if you're going to have surgery, plan for your own auto, if you want to receive blood. But look at the Jehovah Witnesses. They know all other ways to do plasma expanders, everything. So this thing about, oh, we got to get your blood. Your life is saving this. Oh, you've donated this many gallons to the Red Cross. That's kind of BS. It's expensive BS, and it gives them your DNA. So people do not have true informed consent, nor do they have American Disabilities consent. But I say humans are lifelong learners. So the IDEA compliance, those are initials, IDEA. Those, in order for a public school to get their federal funding, they have to be IDEA compliant. That stands for Individuals with Disability Education Act. I should have asked you another quiz question. Would you have gotten that one, Emily?
I'm not sure. I mean, I know I've heard of it, but I don't know if I totally
Yeah.
remember.
It's in the school system, they call it an IEP team. Every member of the IEP team, except the student, might not have to know, but their parents actually heard of it. It's the way that people can say, my child needs special accommodations. My child is, has these gaps in their learning, and we need to have the test done. So that's one of the things about helpopedia.org. So, Shella, do you know about helpopedia.org?
Not as much as no, I don't really. I'm going to say no.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to put that in the chat too, unless Emily already did it, because she's pretty lightning fingers. Sometimes she's like so stealth. She's got things in there while we're talking about it.
Absolutely. But I do have to get going. It was a pleasure to see you again, Helen, and find out a little bit more about what you do. So I'm going to copy the Helpopedia because
Okay, there it is. I hope it goes to that. Emily, yay. Emily and I both put it in and she beat me. By milliseconds. I think we got it almost simultaneously in there.
Perfect.
No, she beat me according to she beat me. So Emily, you are a winner of this round. So anyway, thank you so much. Yeah. So Emily, have you had a long day? Are you ready to wrap up here?
Soon. Yeah, soon.
Okay. So yes, Shella, you have the calendar, so I'd be happy to look at your calendar. I don't use them because I don't want to be bound to that calendar. I like to fit into other people's calendars. So if you quickly, or however you can get it to me on LinkedIn or.
Yeah, let me do that. Let me just share this with you. Really.
Okay. And then I'll snag a spot. How much time do you want to secure?
Usually the appointments are 30 minutes, or the set time is 30, but we can go over
we can do it in 30 minutes. I just need, and I can text you my slide pack so you can be prepared to bring in whoever else you want to. If it's on Tuesday, if it's on Tuesday, which time zone are you in? I can't remember.
I'm in Mountain.
You're in Mountain Time.
Yeah,
And
and
you're
then-
also in Canada, aren't you?
yeah. What time zone are you in?
I'm in Central.
So,
Okay, Central. You're
Yeah,
in Kansas right now.
I'm an hour ahead of you. I'm an hour in your future.
I got you.
And you extend my past.
Perfect. Well, it was
All
great.
right.
Yeah, if you wanted to, you could just actually let me give you my email address as well. That way you can just send me the slide deck.
Oh, okay. That's a great action plan.
Yeah.
And this is an example of how people don't realize they're playing the Everyone Counts game show, but that's all we do. We get to smart action plans before we disperse, you know. And women are very good. We just say, oh, we haven't talked about this yet. We need to do, you know, what's our next action step that gives us solid footing. So that's helpful. I will send you the slide pack via your email.
All right, sounds great. It was nice to see you again. Bye, Emily. We'll see you.
Likewise. Thank you so much. Do you have anything special to celebrate that we should know about?
Right now.
Yeah, anything, any prayers you need, any support like that or anything?
That is so kind of you. You know what? Yeah, I'm working on some big projects, maybe just some
What
prayers.
Okay, so how should I pray for you about that and keep it in my meditation?
That's a really good question. Let me come up with something quickly. Just for the doors to be opened. Yeah, for God to open the door.
That is great because that's the same thing. I actually called the Unity Prayer Hotline last Sunday. I was so frustrated. And I said, I just need for the doors to be open. God knows exactly how long I'm doing it. He knows what the doors are that need to be open. They said, we're going to pray for you for 30 days. So we are in that window. And so I'm bringing you in under the umbrella because we have the same pure in heart wish, which is a prayer.
I love it. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
It was nice seeing you, and we'll talk soon, Helen.
We will. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. Wow, that was fabulous.
yeah.
Right,
that was-
What a bright spot in my day. We're in the spirit of the game, Emily. High
yeah.
five.
Yeah, I'm glad I was able to have a bright spot for you today.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was like, I had woken up at 3:00, a little bit after. And I was like, all of a sudden I had all of this stuff going around in my mind. It's like, I got to get up and type.
Okay.
I was like, I wonder what time it is. So I come in the kitchen. It was like, oh my goodness. But I saw the clock on my stove go 3:33.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever heard when you see all the same numbers, you know, that's like a special significance blessing?
I think so.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I'll take that because I was so energized and I was so clear about what I needed to do so I'd be ready. So that I could do my normal day. I thought Joe was going to be gone for the whole weekend. Then Kurt texted me and said, would you be able to, come in today to the World of Abilities? And I said, oh, what time? And he said, between 2 and 4, or between 1 and 4, something like that. And I said, yeah, I actually could because I knew the library closed at 1:00. So I knew that was my deadline. And then all of a sudden I hear Joe come home. I thought he was gone for the whole weekend. It was like, oh no, my plan is ruined.
Oh, boy.
Now I have to adjust.
Oh, geez.
But anyway, he knew, and the fact that he was sober made me really happy. And it was good to see the baby, the dog, our therapy dog. And so anyway, and then he was out there watching a movie. And it ended up being a really cute movie. So I had taken out some lunch and I said, I'm going to take a break. I've been working for 8 hours solid. And so I ended up watching the last part of the movie.
Oh. What movie was it?
It was called Wild Target
Oh.
in Britain, English. Yeah.
Oh.
It's like this hitman that was hired to kill this woman because she was always she was raised without parents or something, and she became a thief, kleptomaniac, survival of the fittest, and behind every criminal is some kind of story like that.
Yeah.
Behind every drug addict, behind everybody that has some form of PTSD, or they cheat others or they lie. If you really peel the onion and sit down with them, you find out that they had a whole lot of adverse childhood experiences when they were bullied, teased, things like that.
Yeah.
And or they were betrayed by people that they thought were supposed to love them, and then ACEs too. That's adverse. That's adverse. I mean, no, it's adult crisis experiences. So when you think of, when there's bad weather and they say it's pea-size hail, and then they say it's golf ball size hail, and then it's like it's grapefruit size hail ball, that could kill a person. That's like being hit with a meteorite,
Yeah.
So I love the science lessons. So for anybody who doesn't know, when they go from piece size, it's like how a clam makes a pearl, or an oyster makes a pearl. For a cultured pearl, they actually put a little irritant in there. And then the pearl actually secretes like this really thick kind of like mucus. It's coating over that because it's an irritant. It's bugging it. It's like having a sticker under your armpit. You want it out, And so I have a little finger puppet. I talk about, the oyster and being the master of attitude adjustment. So I say, the oyster mulls it over. It takes something irritating and it makes a fabulous pearl out of it.
Yeah.
And so the longer it isn't discovered, the bigger that pearl gets too. And then sometimes there's even, depending on the water and the minerals and what the mollusks are feeding on, it depends on the color of the pearls. Have you ever seen a black pearl?
No, I can't say that I have at the moment.
Oh, well, my mother had one, and she had it. I'm getting ready here to, let's see, this piece of jewelry was stolen. It was in my backpack. I was working at as a nurse, and I needed to sleep. I had my Volkswagen.
Okay.
Yeah, so my mom had bought me this leather backpack because she was embarrassed that I was wearing a green military rucksack around, hiking around in 1979, getting my credentials in holistic wellness. I'd already been a nurse for 3 years, and I'd been in Kentucky, and I had found, I was like, there was. And if you actually Google Blue Rapids, Kansas, that would be a fun thing to do. That's the only Blue Rapids in the United States.
Okay.
So Blue Rapids, Kansas, we could play more trivia questions because there's a really cool trivia question pertaining to the world tour of the New York Giants and the Chicago White Sox.
Oh boy.
And it goes back to 1913 was when they did that world tour. So there were a lot of famous people on that, like Jim Thorpe and I can't think of all their names now. Some of them had gotten married, so that was like their honeymoon. They got to go around the world like on boats, a lot of them on boats and then trains and all kinds of different. So it would be really interesting to delve into that part of history and see what made the New York Giants and the White Sox decide, hey, let's do a world tour. We all get a vacation. We get to go around the world and play our ball games. We raise the purse. It pays us. We get to be with our honeymoon with our wives. And so it was an ingenious plan, was it not?
Yeah.
Where would you like to go? Would you like to go somewhere on a cruise or a boat or a train, or what's the best vacation you've ever been on?
Not sure. I mean, I've been over to Italy and Greece.
Oh my gosh, you got to go to Greece?
Yeah.
What? Tell me about that. How did you get there?
It was with the school group.
Uh,
So,
and what was the purpose of the school group?
well, it was just one of the teachers at my school. Was one that
And
kind
she
of
hosted the trip, and
led it, and was like, just took some people.
did you guys raise money to help defray and have some money, shopping money when you went?
I don't know if I totally remember that. It was a long time ago.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, I did not get to Greece, and that's a hotbed of civilization. The Greeks and the Romans, and all of the things that happened in that part of the history, and even the mythology of the gods and the goddesses. Yeah, I found all that stuff fascinating.
Yeah, I did too.
And the architecture. So what was what really interested you in Greece?
Uh,
Did you go into the ocean?
I don't really remember the ocean. I mean, we saw like the Parthenon and kind of
Oh, wow.
a couple of things that I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I remember everything that we went there.
Did you ever see that movie Jason and the Argonauts?
I'm not sure. I've heard of the name though.
It's an old movie. I was I was like in grade school when our family got to go see it at a drive-in movie.
Yeah.
It's been one of my favorite movies. It's really cool. And yeah, so I'm not going to ruin it for you because I just recommend it.
I'm going to have to go watch it or rewatch it or something.
Yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. Yeah, it's really fascinating. And yeah, that makes a good family movie and everything. And then plus it's a good little springboard for talking about the Greeks and the Romans and mythology and the power of the body to heal, and also the scriptures, how it relates to biblical stuff. So yeah, I'm like a grandmother spider weaver. I can just, give me one topic and I'll start telling you all these different tangents that interest me. Like
yeah.
The arts, the sciences, the reading, the research, the food, the culture, the music, the dances. And did you go to Italy on that trip at all?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you go to Pompeii?
Yeah, I saw Pompeii.
That was impressive. I got to Pompeii. Yeah. That was, and my grandmother had a paperweight collection, like glass with cool flowers and the things that look like those Christmas candies.
Yeah.
They're like a German candy, I think, but they make them in it's just the same thing as they make in glass. So yeah, I think that my grandmother and I definitely go back to that's in our DNA. I was always fascinated with glass blowers, functional art, colored bottles, useful things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever make art when you were in school? Like clay or pinch pots, slab pots, forming a little sculpture or anything?
I think I did a little bit of that. Not a ton though, but.
Do you like to make bread?
Yeah. But I haven't done a lot, but yeah.
Yeah, now we have bread machines, but there's nothing like, the strength of the women who are like bread makers that need that bread, and the old world bread is like heavy clay. They really have good forearms.
Yeah.
Did you see them like making wine, stomping in the vats in the vineyards or anything like that?
I don't think so. I don't think we.
I just remember that scene from Lucille Ball, I Love Lucy, where she's like stomping around she's got like some kind of dress and she's like in a grape thing stomping around making grapes in her bare feet. I don't remember how she got herself into that one, but she was always, how Ricky would come home and be like, Lucy, you got some splaining to do.
Yeah.
And I like reversing that line because it was my mother that was the one with the accent. My dad was the American, no accent, Midwestern, you know. My mother had the accent. She spoke 5 languages, but Spanish was her primary language.
Oh boy.
But then, yeah, she was like somewhat hard of hearing at 88, and I needed to take her to a specialist. So I said, Mom, I'm gonna call them up and we're gonna do as many of the things as we can over the phone because they're just typing them into the computer, you know? And I said, that way we can get as much done as we want, and then the missing pieces of information we have to look up, then we'll be prepared when we actually go for the appointment. So she was like, okay, good idea. So she was a little bit hard of hearing. So I'm on the phone and I'm, you know, talking to the nurse and then I'm relaying the questions to my mom. We get to the one about race. She says, there's not a drop of Hispanic blood in me. We're French. It should be Bajan. And I just got a smirk on my face because when I got off the phone, I said, well, I hope I don't have to pay back those scholarships, those 2 Eisenhower scholarships I got in the 70s. I'm pretty sure I filled out that I was half Puerto Rican. Anyway, yeah, she said, no, we're French. My mother was from the same village as Joan of Arc was. And I said, oh, no wonder we're such martyrs.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when do you want to end this?
Good. And there in a few minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we're both in our outer space low orbits. There, you were in the control room on Artemis. I think that you are here, Emily, in the control tower.
Oh yeah.
See? Yeah, right up there in the control tower. Or you could be in the arch. Where would you like your office to be?
Not sure.
You obviously have a good view of the earth and the moon, you know, the sun behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think about my graphic of the International Spaces Station?
I like it. It's pretty cool.
I had so much fun. I had a long time ago made the green part, but then last week I added to it, and then I don't know, let's see, can you make me like the feature so it's like really big, so I can give a little tour with my...
Is that really big, or is that...
Oh, there's John Kennedy.
Yeah, John
Hi,
Kennedy.
John. I love your brain, neuroplastician. Are you going to help me remodel my brain and get it all? Do you think it's functional, or? I'm looking for somebody who loves me for my brain because my skin is past the point.
Hi, John. Thanks.
Hey, John, you want to unmute? I've been talking for quite some time. I was trying to get Emily to see if we can, like if I'm the presenter or something. Can you have that view? Let's see.
Yeah, we're on speaker view right now.
Oh, okay. So on mine, I'm still seeing like a fourplex.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, up in that corner, there should be a thing where you can.
There we go. Sorry, I was just switching over from my phone to the computer, so it's a little bit better.
Yeah, I do that too. It's easier.
Yeah, a lot easier.
I was just showcasing the International Spaces Station.
Is that what is behind you? Yeah, I was going to ask you. That's a cool picture.
Now for the big reveal, I'm going to move because right now, if you look at it, I'm somewhere over the rainbow.
I see that. Global Green Biz Woman. That is awesome. Is that what our space station's going to look like in the
That
future?
is our international. That's the great discovery. That's where our content creators are. Aren't you in there?
What happened? There we go.
Aren't you in the great discovery?
I'm back. My screen has a habit of shifting every once in a while, so I'm back.
Okay, you didn't.
So you were
Did I ask you? Aren't you in this great discovery, or only in JB?
Yeah, so JB Directory I am, and also Great Discovery on Process. My partner is in Great Discovery. I talk to Tim. I get texts from Tim all the time. I've been on every once in a while.
I thought you were
I
on there
haven't
last
yet.
week. So look at this again.
Yeah. It's cool.
It is for all of us. It's where we're having the Live Well Health and Wellness Cooperative, and I am gathering all of the neuroplasticians I can because I offered you the grandmother clause. I had already offered you that, but when people, I'm not very memorable, or I don't have my Santa hat on, or whatever, they think this woman is clearly grandiose. But I'm actually a magnanimous narcissist.
Okay.
Because my grandmother, I had her in my life till she was almost 106. She totally was the most fair woman I ever met in my life. And her son was my dad. He lived to be 92. And then my Puerto Rican mother was 9 years younger than him. She lived to be 93. So I became an orphan in the year 2020. Hindsight is great.
Okay.
And I'm always looking for my adopted family who actually likes my brain and my sense of humor as much as my family did. And believe they loved my big schemes. My dad would be like, only the best for the hung. He gave me a Chinese name. At that point, I don't think anybody knew we had Japanese and Chinese ancestors.
Wow.
But I've had my DNA done, and I was like, oh my gosh, we're related to the whole land and silk and sea merchant marines in the Silk Road silk and
The Silk Road, the Silk Road.
silk and spice route.
Yeah.
And 3 dots in England, those are the aeronauts. That's where I get my circus thing, my dad's circus and weather balloons and climbing up. So that movie Aeronaut, I was like, oh my God, that's me. That's got to be one of my relatives. So I just gave you a whole lot of insight into my brain function. Now tell us what you're.
What I do,
Yeah.
what I do actually is actually a program I developed for the Department of Defense almost 20 years ago. So I've trained Navy SEALs and snipers and also people with autism, ADHD. It doesn't really matter because everything goes through our brain. So what I can do is I can make your brain faster and more focused by at least 10%, less than an hour. And I've been doing it now for almost 20 years. So it doesn't change. It's not a mind program. All the other brain training programs are mind-based, psychology, NLP, affirmations, whatever you want to do. They all work because of neuroplasticity where you have to repeat them, right? You don't learn something right away. And we're also, our performance today, even our personality today, is based on the efficiency of different mental processes we developed as children. That's why we all.
My father was a scientist, so I know about oscilloscopes and frequencies. And I was for 40 years.
Yeah. So you learn stuff. That's absolutely true.
My Menningers, my nursing training in Topeka State, we went to Menningers. I learned about biofeedback and the monks that could control their parasympathetic nervous system and breathing, all of that, the theta waves, gamma waves, alpha waves, all of that stuff. And but I had, as a 10-year-old, because I was so petrified of shots, I had already been taught how to relax and cooperate. I had to prove for a dentist that I would stay in the dentist chair, keep my mouth open, and let him work. And when we were done, he pulled out his wallet, handed me $1, and said, I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And again, that's all learning, and you learn from practice and over and over. And what I do is actually training.
Right.
So I don't teach you anything. But what I do is I train your brain to rewire to be more efficient. And it's based on, with your study neuroscience, you might be aware of Dr. Yoshi's work out of MIT, found that the very specific type of non-digital stimulation will change the brain immediately, not just in a day or a week or a month.
Which is so valuable for people with PTSD, due to grief, betrayal, anxiety, any reason that causes them to go reach for a drug or for alcohol or sex or any addictive hit of neurodopamine and, oxytocin. Yeah.
And actually it helps that because the exercise I use actually release all those, a lot of dopamine and everything helps with addictions, but it's not just those, it's everybody. So professional athletes perform better, professors get more done better, faster. I have a surgeon who can do a 6-hour operation in just 2 hours. So he's already one of the smartest guys in the world, very unique practice, but now twice as many patients at home with his family because his brain is faster.
memory when you combine it with that, and then in the surgical suite, they let you play whatever music the surgeon wants.
Well, a little different. I mean, that's not what I do, but we can talk about that. I love to learn new stuff. That's not what I do. I just make the brain faster.
I'm gonna shut up, okay?
No, that's okay. I'm just saying, everybody tries to relate it to something they know about it, which is fine.
That's true, thank you.
But and I learned from that. I always learn from people telling me, but it's the only program of its kind in the world, according to our military. And what makes it so unique.
Compare with Maury Zelkovich's methods.
Maury's a good friend of mine. Maury's brain entrainment.
I know, but how does,
So
how does your method compare?
mine, and actually Maury loves my method. We talk about all the time, we might do something together. So what I do is I have very simple exercises that train executive function, which is our ability to make decisions. And we give the brain something to think. It's very, very simple to do. But in order to do it, the brain has to work really hard. Engage eyes, ears, mouth, hands, feet. All those connections are happening at the same time. Memory. So, memory improves, focus improves, faster thinking improves. Probably the most significant thing we improve is something called anticipation, where if your brain can anticipate that something's coming before it happens. So that's why it gets it done better. We get into flow state. I don't know if you're familiar with Kotler's work. I mean, there's people that he writes millions of words about flow, but it's all psychology based. Mine is neuroscience based, so that usually by the end of the
everybody kind of knows about, like, I'm getting in the flow. I was so in the flow, I lost track of time. When you do what you love.
And we can create that. We can create that with the exercises that people like before they work, before they run through them for a minute and they get into flow state. So again, it's more of a training rather than learning. I mean, those are all really powerful. Here's how I kind of liken it. All those other programs really deal with the mind. The mind is very important. Psychology, manifestation, NLP, but it takes a little while to get there. You don't see a psychologist and then all of a sudden you're performing. You have to practice, right? That's neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
And that's the operating system that everything filters through, and it's very important. Where I work is just the processor. So you get a new computer and everything is faster, right? Everything works better. Operating system and every single thing that you do. So that's really the main difference. And again, I love what I do because anyone I worked with, probably 20,000 people in the last almost 20 years. And
how do people get in touch with you? And I'm looking to do comparative effective research with the Corey Patient-Centered Outcome Research Institute.
That would be great, yeah.
Yeah, and so do you have any connections with any medical universities?
No, I mean, I've talked to them.
Well, you have the big one because you said you worked for the government.
Well, yes, and I actually, I used to present at a lot of brain conferences, including ACRM, that's the world's largest. The problem was that everybody else was presenting research. The problem with research based and the problem with the whole peer review process is there's very little innovation because you have to base it on what other people have already done.
Yeah.
I was a consultant, so I would present results, they would present research, good stuff. And I'm working with someone now to try to do a clinical study. I need to do more of those, but my clients are,
I'd love to be on your team.
Well, we can here, I'm gonna put my email in the chat. I would love to, and what I'll do is I'll send you a link, or unless you want to send me a link to your calendar and we get on and do a Zoom.
I don't use calendar, I'm retired, so I ask people to send me theirs so I can fit into their schedule.
You'd be happy to. So go actually. So I have 2 minutes. I have a client. I got it started with at 1 o'clock. That's okay. No, that's okay. But please send me your information, and I'll send you a calendar link. We can meet, and then send me a little bit more about what you're doing. I'll send you some more of what I do. So I'd love to talk to you more about that.
Yeah, I was in Washington, D.C. to attend the 2-day PCORI grant writing workshop in 2014. So I've been looking for people willing to do something that's innovative. So thank you so much. I really look forward to that. So thanks for coming in.
Yeah, of course. I'm glad. Thanks for hosting.
Great.
This is Emily. Thanks for running things. I look forward to talking some more. This has been great, Helen. Thanks.
Great. Thank you
Take
so
care.
much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too. Bye-bye. Emily, boy, we have some good space travelers today.
Yeah, we do.
And I just masterclass.com. I really love how they do assessments. So I was like, I'm going to show this to Tim and Sandra and to Helpopedia. They are doing the level of what I asked Helpopedia to do. And Helpopedia now has gotten to the point where they're putting me off, which is really off-putting me. So if they're going to have wait, Helen, hold your horses. We can't work on your stuff and pretend that I'm pushing my agenda instead of a magnanimous agenda that helps every single stakeholder they say on their landing page that they are there to serve. So when people don't see my vision, I have to go elsewhere, and luckily Kurt's already on the board, so I don't have to put him in my place on this one. He's ahead of me. He's the one that invited me back in. And then, we invited Adam, and boom, that was like IT wizardry, put this starship in warp speed. So I just put myself on the back burner, letting him get up, because the launch of the Helpopedia Special Needs Directory was my priority as well. Because but now if they're holding back my assessment process, which is very easy for techie people to do. So if Adam doesn't want to do it and the other people don't want to do it, then I will find somebody else to do it, because it's already being done anyway. So, we reached our 2-hour limit and the note taker is gone. So are we done?
Yeah, I think we're at our ending point
okay.
here. Thank everybody to join us today, and we are here every Saturday at 1:00 p.m. Central. So I'd love to have everybody join us. Until next week, everybody has a safe back week. Stay happy.
Be a gift in everybody's present moment. You've been a gift, many gifts in the seconds and the minutes I shared with you. Thank you so much, Emily. Over and out.